Hi everyone! You have your vegetable seedlings started inside and you're super excited to see them grow. However, there's common watering and fertilizing mistakes you're probably making that you want to avoid at all costs or it will hinder your seedlings' growth. Now, watering and fertilizing at this young stage are crucial as it really sets the foundation for healthy plant growth. But how do you know what you don't know? So today I'm going to share with you techniques to avoid these mistakes and water correctly so you have healthy, strong seedlings to plant out to the garden and lots of food to harvest. Mistake number one, the most common mistake you're probably making is either underwatering or overwatering. Let's start with overwatering. There's a problem with your plant, so you're dumping water on every single day. This can be just as bad as underwatering. It can lead to soggy soil, root rot, fungal diseases, so you gotta resist the urge to overwater. On the other hand, underwatering, you get busy, you forget to water your plants, they dry out, they get stunted, they're limp, lifeless, and they die. We've all done that too. Raise your hand if you've made either of these mistakes. I know we've all done this. But what I'm going to tell you now is how to avoid this. The key is only water when your plants need it. Now you might be asking, how do I know when my plants need water? And I wish there was a magic bullet answer for this, but it is dependent on a couple of different things. The first one being the temperature where you have your plants growing. If you're growing them by a sunny windowsill, they're going to dry out faster and need watering more often. On the other hand, if you're growing them in a location that's a little bit cooler, they'll hold on to the moisture longer and you won't have to water them as often. But there are some clues to look for that will tell you exactly when to water your plants. The first thing being the color of the soil in the container that they're growing. Let me show you what I mean. When the soil is a light brown color like this, that's an indication that the soil is drying out and your plants need water. On the other hand, if it's a dark brown soil, like this one right here, that's an indication that your plant does not need water. And here you can see the difference between the light brown soil that needs watering and the dark brown soil that does not need watering. The second clue you're going to look for is the weight of the container in which they're growing. If the container is heavier, it means there's more water content in the soil, indicating you don't need to water. If the container is lighter, on the other hand, lighter in weight, it indicates that the soil has dried out and it's time to water your plants. What you need to do to avoid overwatering and underwatering is develop a good routine of checking your plants daily. Set a reminder on your phone if you're prone to forget like I am. Check your plants, monitor the weight of the containers for lightness or heaviness, and water accordingly. And also make sure you check the top of your soil to see if it's light brown, needs water, or dark brown, doesn't need water. Make sure you check the soil moisture regularly and only water when the top inch of the soil or so feels dry. Also, for your seedling six-packs or containers, make sure they have drainage holes in the bottom to avoid root rot, the soil becoming waterlogged, and just to let the water drain out effectively. Now, keep an eye on your plants for signs of overwatering, like limp or yellowing leaves. On the other hand, for underwatering, you don't want your plants to get to the point where they're completely dried out and limp or they're going to die. Don't let your plants sit in standing water. Pour off the water after the plants have soaked it up from the bottom. Now that you know how to avoid underwatering and overwatering, let's talk about mistake number two that people make, and that is they water overhead. Definitely something you don't want to do. What most people do is they just pour water over the top of their plants, which can displace small seedlings, drown your plants, and cause all kinds of fungal issues and fungus gnats as well. What you want to do instead is bottom water. And what I mean by that is you take your watering can and pour water into the bottom tray. And what this does is it allows the seedling trays to soak up water from the bottom, which more fully soaks the soil and also avoids the issue of soil splashing, which can cause fungal disease and fungus gnats. Then once your trays have sat in the water for about 10 to 15 minutes, have soaked it up, and the top of the soil turns from a light brown color into a dark brown color, pour the water off. That way your roots don't become waterlogged and you avoid the overwatering issue. If your plant trays are in a hard spot where it's tough to pick them up and pour off the water, little trick I like to get the water out is a turkey baster. Stick your turkey baster in your tray. That's a good way to get all the extra water out of the bottom. A great resource for you when it comes to watering and feeding your seedlings is my book, Organic Gardening for Everyone. Everything we're covering in today's video is right here, written down for you so you can follow along. And also grab my Spring Garden Seed Collection to get your seeds going. When you buy the seed book bundle, get a discount of $5 and an additional 25% off all my seed collections when you use the code CallieKimSeeds. And also don't forget to grab one of our February Radiant Red Veggies Connect Plus subscription boxes. Get $20 off your first month's box with the code CONNECT. Each box contains a free Power Planter auger. It's a $25 value, makes all your tough garden digging jobs easy. Mistake number 3 with watering and fertilizing your indoor seedlings has to do with fertilizing, and that is fertilizing too early. Now, when a plant first germinates, it has the little baby leaves or the cotyledons, and at that point you don't need to fertilize because the plant is getting all the energy that it needs from the seed itself. However, once your little seedling gets to be about 2 inches tall, it starts to develop its true leaves, or the leaves that actually look like the plant that I'm growing. For example, on this seedling here, the little true leaves are coming out from the middle and actually look like a tomato leaf. This is when you need to start fertilizing your plant. At this point, your seedling needs additional nutrients to grow and flourish. Mistake number 4 is over-fertilizing. Another way a lot of us tend to overlove our plants. Now, over-fertilizing has a ton of problems for your plants. It can cause root burn, leaf burn, it can lead to nutrient overload, which really inhibits plant development, and it can cause reduced resistance to stress. The key to avoiding over-fertilizing is easy does it, and use a gentle, water-soluble fertilizer that won't burn your plants. And my favorite by far is Vermistera Vitality. Now, this is worm castings in liquid form. It's very gentle. It works great for seedlings because it has a natural growth hormone that really helps the root development, so it really helps the seedlings take off. An effective way to fertilize your plants is during one of your regular watering sessions. Add some Vermistera Vitality to your watering can. Just follow the directions on the back. Water from the bottom. Let the plant's roots soak it up just like you would in a normal watering session, and then pour it off once the top of the soil is a dark brown color. It's easy for your plants to absorb, it's gentle, it'll provide a nice slow and steady growth for your seedlings, it won't burn them, and it also helps them to be healthy and resistant to disease and stress. If you've made any of these common watering or fertilizing mistakes, don't worry about it. We've all been there. But do your best to avoid them using the techniques I discussed today, and you're sure to have some strong, healthy seedlings that you can put out in the garden and put lots of food on your table. Let me know how things are going with your indoor seed starting, and please admit in the comments below if you've made any of these common watering mistakes and what you're going to do to correct it. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next video.